Hey everybody, this is Darren Sabedra again with the Mercury News, East Bay Times, Bay Area News Group, here with Mike Lefkow. It's Saturday afternoon. We're here in lovely Walnut Creek, and where are we, Mike? We're in a nice little studio here.
Nice little photo studio.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Jose. But anyhow, big games last night, and we'll start with the one that I was at. De La Salle taking care of business on the road in Mountain View over St. Francis, 33-15. Shamar Garrett had a huge game. Couple touchdowns, 148 yards rushing, but the big play was an 84-yard pick six late in the first half that turned a 13-0 game into 19-0 and basically put it away before halftime. So big win for the Spartans. What do you think? I mean, was that a statement win? Another? Or?
I don't know if it was a statement win. I mean, I think we all thought De La Salle was going to win that game. We thought it would probably be anywhere between 10 and 15 points. So I don't know if it was a statement. It's a good win. I mean, St. Francis is a good team.
Right.
But a statement win, maybe more of a statement would be against Bishop Gorman next week.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. St. Francis had some opportunities. 4 turnovers by De La Salle last night, including 2 plays into the game that gave St. Francis the ball at the 19-yard line, and the Lancers went in reverse instead of forward. Ended up giving the ball up on downs, and Shamar Garrett runs 65 yards for a touchdown that gave De La Salle the lead that it never relinquished. But you, Mike, were at the game of the night. Why don't you tell us about Antioch's stunning win over Clayton Valley?
Well, it was quite a game, 35-34. It went right down to the final minute. Antioch led 27-6 at halftime. And then Clayton came out in the second half, scored 3 straight touchdowns, 22 points, 2 one-point conversions, and a 2-point conversion. So they were leading 28-27 going in the fourth quarter. Then Antioch went on a really nice 89-yard drive, 2-point conversion, made it 35-28. And then Clayton Valley came right back with an 80-yard drive, made it 35-34. Then they went for the 2-point conversion with 4:03 left in the game.
2-point conversion. Tim Murphy could go for the tie, 35-35 overtime, and we all know what happened in overtime against Pitt when Clayton Valley stuns Pitt. He goes for 2. You asked him about that.
Yeah, I asked him about it, and he said the kids wanted to do it, and he went along with it. And then he said at the end, "But it's my fault. I'm the coach." And I have to agree with him. I would have overruled the kids on that one. I mean, there was still 4:03 left, so there was still time for both teams to get the ball and somebody to score. But you're at 35-35 if you go for the kick. And then if you don't score, at least you get it into overtime. Clayton got the ball back one more time, but they only gained a yard on that possession, and that was it. And it was a tremendous win for Antioch. I mean, they got
not only
a
a
great
tremendous win, but
quarterback,
it kind of shook up the North Coast section open division situation, because Clayton Valley, we all talked about this before that game. If Clayton Valley had won, they were pretty much going to go at least 9-1, probably 10-0. Now with the loss to Antioch, Antioch is suddenly not only in the conversation, they're right in the mix for the open division. You've got Pitt, you've got Liberty, you've got Clayton, which still has the win over Pitt. A lot's going to be determined in the Bay Valley Athletic League, how that all shakes out.
Oh, without question. I mean, Antioch is 4-0. They've beaten a couple of good teams now. They've got a lot of confidence, and they have some good players on that team. Their quarterback, William Carnthong, is an amazing talent, heady quarterback, really good.
Right.
They've got 2 nice receivers in Gotti Campbell and DeJuan Butler. Both are big-time college prospects. And they've got a nice running back. This is a good team. The thing Antioch doesn't have is they're not real deep on the offensive line, and you can wear them down a little bit.
And that might happen in league play with the physicality that they're going to experience.
Right, but I was impressed with the way they played last night. Right. I mean, that was an impressive victory.
Before we wrap this up, let's go through some quick hitters. Pittsburgh with a huge win over Salle after losing last week to Centennial. Pittsburgh bounces back, builds a big lead first half. Salle showed something by coming back, tying it up at halftime, and then Pittsburgh wins 45-35. What's your take on Pittsburgh and now being 2-2?
Well, I mean, they're still in it for the open division. Their 2 losses were an overtime loss to Clayton and loss to Centennial. So they're still in it. I mean, if they run the table in the BVAL, they'd probably make the Open Division. It'll be interesting to see where they get seated, however.
Palo Alto, 3-0, clearly back under new coach Nelson Gifford. They get a big win over McClymonds, 29-20. That's now Mac's second loss in a row. I mean, I know Coach Peters beefed up the schedule. Now he's got 2 losses in a row after winning 26 consecutive games going into last week's game.
Yeah, I don't know how much he would worry about something like that. I think he wanted to see how his team would do up against the beefed up schedule. So they're taking a shot at it, and they got a victory over Marin Catholic. So
a couple of upsets in the CCS. Palma over Menlo-Atherton. We all talked about Menlo-Atherton with the wins over Bellarmine and Mitty to open the season, which avenged losses to those teams from last year. Well, MA beat Palma by 23 last year, and then they go in their home opener and lose 26-20 in overtime. I talked to Adir Ravapati late last night. He said that they had the ball on the 1 yard line in overtime with the score tied, still tied, first possession, and they go for it on 4th and 1. They get stuffed, and then Palma wins on a walk-off, 26-20.
That was a big upset. That was one I wasn't ready for.
San Benito over Los Gatos. I don't think we saw that coming, given that Wilcox hammered San Benito, and San Benito was winless. That's now 4 wins in a row for San Benito over Los Gatos over the last 4 years. Before we wrap this up, Camp Alindo went to Roner Park and played Rancho Cotati, a game that will have NCS Division II seeding implications. And Camp Alindo returned to Moraga with a 2-touchdown loss. I believe it was 35-21.
Yeah, Rancho Cotati is a good team. They hammered El Cerrito too, so they're good.
Right. Anything else? Any other takeaways from kind of a crazy night of high school football? Week 4.
Well, El Cerrito played pretty well in losing to Union High School, Vancouver, Washington. 5-point loss, 34-29. Union is the 3rd-ranked team in the state of Washington. That's the overall rankings. They're ranked ahead of Bellevue High School. So.
Oh, and Wilcox being undefeated, 3-0. I talked to Paul Rosa, the coach at Wilcox today. His son had 3 touchdowns in the game last night, a rout of Aragon. He didn't see 3-0 at this point, and his team is 3-0 going into their rivalry game with Santa Clara, which you would expect Wilcox to win that game.
Sounds good.
That's a wrap for me. Beautiful, lovely studio here in Walnut Creek, and we'll be back next week for more high school football. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter, right? Newsletter?
Yep.
Newsletter.
And look at the rankings, because they're going to be jumbled up.
The rankings are going to be jumbled up, which will be in the newsletter. Newsletter comes out Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays recapping the weekend, and Thursdays previewing the weekend. That's it. Take care.